Hello, so this is going to be another webcam stream. This one will be just about an hour or so, as I did quite a long one last night. I've got jobs, unfortunately, I need to do today, so yeah, today's live stream will just be about an hour. So as soon as people get on, I'll start chatting with them. Oh, it seems it's a bit slow sending the notifications out today. Let me just try refreshing the page and see if that will help. Give me a second. Actually, it says there's one viewer now, so it might be the notifications were just about 1 minute and 20 seconds late going out. You're on, Mike. Okay, the notifications were just a bit slow then, but hello. All right, British Aviation. Hello, everybody else joining. So I guess, yeah, now the notifications have gone out. They were just a bit slow. I'm a bit tired today. I had a bit of a lay-in and wish I hadn't. It's one of those things where you have a lay-in and then you still feel groggy and everything after you get up. All right, have fun at school then. Yeah, so it's just a case of slow notifications then. This is the Chinese Type 60, no, Type 64, is it? But it's like the modernized variant of it, where they changed the hose assembly and everything. So the regular version had a fixed hose bit at the bottom there, and a different exhale valve. At one point, these were about £11 on eBay. It's sort of the Chinese equivalent of the Soviet MM1, a forward-looking tank mask, basically. So if you're in a tank or anything that requires optics, you can look straight forward, rather than it having lenses, you know, a shape like that. The lenses on this sit completely forwards. Tell you what I'll do though, I'll just take the mask off for a bit so I can put my glasses on and read the chat a bit more easily without having to lean right over to the thing. Yeah, it's just got a, one of the straps has come completely out the thing there, so I have to refred it. But yeah, it's just a 5-point head harness on this one. So, where do the straps go? Through the bottom, out the top. Okay, so let me just refred that, and then I'll be with the chat. There you go. But yeah, it's a pretty simple strap system, but it works quite well. But yeah, I do like this mask. I think that filter's in a bit cross-threaded because it's probably a GOST port on there, not a NATO one. But yeah, pretty simple design on this mask. But I quite like it just because they were cheap. Cheers. Thanks, Laser. I appreciate that. But yeah, I was just showing people that like modernized version of the Chinese Type 64 because these were all over UK eBay a while ago. But yeah, It's a pretty good mask for what it is. It's basically just an MM1 kind of. But yeah, this variant has the, like Hype was saying, the more modernized voice diaphragm and all that stuck on it, an exhale valve. The originals just had a hose taped to the mask, but this is like the more modern variant where they've kind of retrofitted it with a 40mm port and upgraded the voice diaphragm. Although I kind of prefer the rubbery voice diaphragms on the Chinese masks, as I think they're a good design, having both the exhale and the voice diaphragm in the same place. Right, now let me get my glasses on and I can check the chat properly. When you say a fire blanket, is in one to put out a fire, yeah. I've also got some of those gloves that are meant to be like really fire resistant, so you can use the gloves to smack stuff or like, you know, touch really hot stuff. PBFs, most of them on eBay, and at least in the UK, you see a £20 to £30 sort of region. Yeah, you can purchase gas masks without looking suspicious at all. Wearing them in public might be another thing, but buying them online, who cares? We all buy them online on this channel, and people who watch these sort of videos. No, British Mickey Mouse masks are not rare. The US Mickey Mouse mask is very rare because they basically built it like a few prototypes and then didn't go through with it. The British Mickey Mouse mask was like mass-produced for children. My favourite Russian and or Soviet gas mask is the Shum's SHMS, the optical one for like snipers and everything. Yeah, that's an L1A1 on the wall. Cheers, Bread. It's yeah, deactivated one, but yeah, it's an L1A1, the sort of later model that had the plastic furniture on rather than the wooden furniture. Not much, Nazar, after last night. Although I wasn't hungover or anything this morning, I did have a bit of a lay-in. Don't forget to like the stream, everybody. It says there's 24 people on and 5 likes now, but yeah. So, had a bit of a lay-in, then wish I hadn't because I still didn't feel any more awake and I'd wasted a few hours, you know, just laying in bed. Favourite Polish gas mask? Out of the ones I have currently, the MP5. But if I got an MP6, it'd be the MP6. That's completely opinionated, GP5. It really depends what you're into. With any sort of collectibles, it's what do you get the most fun out of collecting, you know. There's no right or wrong answer. You're asking me, will I be streaming today? I'm streaming right now, Nazar. As in typewriters, as in... Maybe, I don't know. I don't really know too many different models of typewriters. But, no, not later, because I'm doing the stream now. Easiest place, Brad, is to literally use eBay and type in things like NDC filter, CBRN filter, things like that, because eBay's just got the most sellers on there trying to compete for prices and things. British World War II civilian masks didn't have exhale valves. They would literally fart around your face. Yeah, Serbian M2s are 40mm NATO threaded. They're not Ghost. No, I can't do another one in the evening because I'll be busy. That's why I'm doing one now. No, vodka didn't make me hungover at all. I had a bit of a lay-in this morning, Iron Man, but I wasn't hungover. But the thing is, if like you do what I did, where you're diluting it in another drink anyway, and then you make sure you drink plenty of water out afterwards, you're not going to get hungover. GP5s take 40mm Ghost filters. Right, afternoon, Richard? I've only been awake like 2 hours, so it doesn't really feel like afternoon yet to me, but it is afternoon. I think after this stream, I might watch Terminator 2, or I might play some Fallout Far Harbor. I've not decided yet. GP5s don't echo. I'm not sure what you mean with that. Prototype PBF. Let me have a look for you. Know you. There's one that says prototype PDF, but I reckon somebody on that one has just modified a normal PBF by the look of it. Because it looks like the cheek filters are still there and then they've just cut them down. What is cool, though, is somebody's done a really good alteration with a 3D printer to make a PBF into the Stalker mask, which looks really cool. But the prototype one, that's the only one that comes up, I reckon, is a real one that they've just cut around to modify. Because they were built for civilians as cheaply as possible, Bradley. The GP5M has a voice diaphragm on it. eBay, if there's any available, Ryder, but they'll turn up on eBay when they're for sale. Probably Sunday evening, Lazar. Oh, is that because Mike was playing it last night? But yeah, it's been raining here. It's quite nice, though, because it means if you open the window, there's quite a breeze and the air's quite cool and fresh compared to some of the last couple of days, you know, where we've had the sort of high 20s, high humidity days, so it feels a lot nicer. Yeah, I'm working at the weekend, and hopefully the weather will be all right at the weekend, because when I'm working, it's one of those weird things where if the weather's nicer, like sunny, you know, hot weather, we're actually not as busy as if it's a rainy, horrible day. So hopefully the weather will be nice at the weekend. As in which one, Bradley? What I spent the most on for a mask, or which of my masks is the most valuable, because it's not necessarily the same thing. I prefer the first Terminator, I think, but I'll have to actually judge it again after I've rewatched Terminator 2. Originally, I always used to like Terminator 2 more, but I think rewatching the first Terminator the other day, I actually think that's aged a bit better. Um, 30 to 40 centigrade, I would consider hot spec. Most valuable, probably my British C7 masks. I've got 2 of those. San Renmu make nice knives. I think Prometheus just like rebranded other knives anyway. But Ganzos I like as well. The only thing, Iron Man, with that is that you have to be very careful, because if you mess about with stuff like that, you can do serious damage and all that if you have an air tank and the regulators aren't right, or, you know, if it explodes or something like that. Impossible to answer, Nazar. I guess thousands at this point, but impossible to answer. Because I don't keep like a... What I'd have had to have done is I've got a like Excel thing when I first started collecting gas masks and put how much I spent for each mask on there. But because I've not done that, I don't know. I don't have any horse gas masks. Sadly, I don't have a Sunren mill. I probably really want to get one with like the little grip on it so it can't close on your finger, because I really like that one. But yeah, my current big EDC knife is basically this one that will peach if he's on will moan at me to clean, because you can still see the plant blood on that one. I think that looks quite cool, having the kind of plant blood splattered on it. The chlorophyll or whatever it's called. But yeah, at some point I will clean it, but it's stainless steel, so I don't have to worry about it rusting. That's cool, Ryder. Yeah, FP5s are probably your best bet, Spec Scout. I think modern Chinese filters are completely safe and fit, and modern Russian filters, but whether or not you can get those for a decent price, I don't know. But FP5 filters, if you're around Europe, you can generally get for like £10 to £20 a filter. What do you mean, tactical? Do you mean if you've got a filter on a mask, is there a smell? Not really. You can only really smell the rubber inside the mask, because a particulate and vapor filter is going to basically block any smells coming into the mask. So all you're going to really smell is what's inside the mask. And if the filter has a particularly plasticky smell or something, you'll smell that. Favourite games, Oddworld, Abe's Exodus, but that's quite old now. I've not got a PMK2, so I can't comment, but PMK1s are probably just a type of latex, I imagine. Yeah, you get 2 different variants of horse gas masks, really. You get some that have got the got a bit of skin on the lens there. There's a pop cough. I was going to say, you get 2 kind of variants of horse masks. You get some that are just literally a bit that covers the horse's mouth. which is like, you know, a filter basically, and you get others that have got the goggles built in. The ones with the goggles built in for the horse look a lot cooler as well, kind of like a full face horse mask. But a lot of horse masks are just the kind of ones that, you know, cover the bottom of the snout. Cheap DSR maybe on eBay. Ah, cool. Which one's the MF15B? I'll have to Google it because I can't think of the name of it without looking it up. Is that a mask or a type of filter? Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, that's a nice looking mask, isn't it? Kind of reminds me a bit of the Scott Pro mask, or the whichever one is it? The MSA Hour. But yeah, it looks nice. Looks like you get a good field of view with that one. Baby gas masks are normally ones where there's an air pump, or like an electric air pump or a manual air pump. So what you have to do is when the baby's inside the thing, you have to keep pumping it or leave the electric on. If not, the baby will suffocate because their lung capacity isn't good enough to pull air through the filter. So yeah, British World War II baby masks are basically like a little thing you tie the baby in, and then you operate a pump to keep the air going through. All right, sophistry. Yeah, I've been to Cornwall. I've been to most places in the UK and everything, but some of them I've been to years ago, so I can't remember very well. Yeah, very good point, Rich. Favourite dual filter mask? My Avon CT12, if I put 2 filters on it, because the Avon CT12 is my favourite mask anyway. If I had to pick a mask that isn't that one, probably the M50. Alright, see you, Ryder. Wouldn't surprise me, Bone Broth, sadly. Anyway, let's have a look on eBay and see if there's any unique things of gas masks I've not seen. I'll also check on my PC's progress and see if they've got a new estimated shipping date for me, if it's still the 29th. Because I really want my new PC. No, it's still pre-production, estimated shipping date the 29th. So that is Monday, not next week, the week after, isn't it? And that's only like 9 days away now. I'll look at some gas masks on eBay. What was the comment about roughly, Laser? But yeah, they do like to do that. But what was your comment kind of about? Because they, yeah, really do seem to hate certain keywords, and I have no idea why. If you want, just post a few lines, then enter, then post a few more lines and see if that works. Yeah, I've got an SR1 Gas Master Polish Casualty one. Yeah, I've done a video on that, Sergeant. That's the one where I turn the PBF inside out. British Aviation, Bone Broth beat you to that. But yeah, apparently, according to both of you, then probably was true, sadly. Didn't mean to close eBay then. It was about a bow I got from Hype. So yeah, it doesn't like the word bow for some reason. That's very strange, but yeah. Was it one of those really cool, like old-fashioned Chinese ones? Because I saw he had some of them, didn't he? Like the one of the old Dynasty style bows. But that was really cool, with like the whistle arrows and all those. Well, the rarest masks I've already said, GP5. Oh, cheers, Hotshot. I appreciate that as well. The rarest masks I've got are my British C7 masks. Tell you what, if you don't mind waiting a minute, because people keep asking me about the C7s, even if they don't know the names of them, I'll get my C7 mask for you. I have to go AFK for a couple of minutes, because they're not stored in my bedroom. But if you're interested in the C7 masks, I'll get them both out to show you. Right, okay. Give me a minute and I'll be back in a moment. Right, here we go. So, I've also got the British Mickey Mouse children's masks because I stored them with the C7s. But yeah, these are British C7 masks, which are the rarest masks I've got in my collection. So, basically, the C7 was where, in the Cold War, they designed a... this is the closest mask I've got that looks like Pyro's mask as well, for all the people... it's just YouTube being annoying, Mr. Source, sadly. Basically, so what this mask was where they designed a civilian gas mask for Britain during the Cold War, very similar to the British World War II masks, except that actually has an exhale valve on it, and it's got obviously two eyepieces, not one single celluloid bit across the middle. So they designed these masks, but then realised that the probability of civilians surviving a thermonuclear war was pretty low. And also that, you know, fuck the civilians, let's not spend money on them. So they basically just recorded these and destroyed them. So if you're lucky, you can still find people who may have not sent them back who have them. Right, I've got two. So this one is 952. So that would be September 1952. If it focuses on that. There you go. The other one, let's just get the bit of cardboard off of it. Is, this one's not actually got a date on the filter. Has it got a date on the rubber? It's Avon, yeah, 1154. There you go. So November 1954, this one. So made by Avon Rubber, 1954. As I just said, the British C7 respirators, the rarest masks I've got. I'm not going to breathe through it, because obviously it's got the asbestos filter on here, but I'll quickly put it on so you can see it. So you've got 3 straps at the top, then you've got a bottom buckle on there. So what you do is let me take a big breath. If I took my glasses off first. Right, okay, try again. It would look a bit like that, but I've not pre-adjusted the strap, so it won't easily fit me. But yeah, that's C7. It's much better in quality than the British civilian World War II masks are, but it's still obviously not a brilliant mask. The GP5 is miles better than this. Let's see if this one fits me at all. That's actually a better fit on this one. I won't do the back strap up, but as you can see,
fits me well enough.
So this one was made by BTR. Actually, just know this one is saying that in November 1952 anyway. It's just that the filter was from September. Yeah, you can see. Ooh, I'll let you look through the mask. That's where you have the old asbestos filter on there. Cool. Yeah, I've heard about that, but I've never seen one. And again, C7s are very rare regardless, so. I have to look up the whalers again, but I think that's a fictional mask. It kind of looks a bit like a Plague Doctor mask, doesn't it? I'm just seeing if I can get a close-up picture. But it kind of just, to me, looks a bit like any of the civil masks. The closest one I've got to that will be, hang on, let me get it out. The closest to a whaler mask is probably this one, which is a Swedish Type 32 mask, which again is a very similar design mask. This is the Swedish civil one. But similar to the British one, basically in design, it just has two eyepieces rather than one. But that's the closest thing where you've got the big filter. Again, I won't breathe through this because it's an old asbestos filter, but if you want to see it on. Okay, what, like the standard civilian duty one? It actually pushes itself off my face when I exhale because it doesn't have an exhale valve. Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean, Laser. Were you, yeah, because there's a British civilian duty mask, which is a, I've got one of them. Yeah, for the people who are interested. There's the British Mickey Mouse. Bright red. Won't fit me, so don't ask me to put it on, and the straps are probably quite worn now. This is an Avon one as well. Avon... Is that 1939? 1039, so October 1939. Yeah, the weird thing with this mask is I'm not sure if that's a 60mm filter or not. Let's have a quick check. There's an easy way of finding out. Yeah, I'll have a look after the stream. Cheers. I reckon it might be. Yeah, there we go. Look, so Mickey Mouse is 60mm NATO. Because I think a few people had asked me that before and I'd never tried it. But yeah, obviously don't breathe through one of these. But yeah, the Mickey Mouse is actually a 60mm NATO mask made during World War II. So before they even called it 60mm NATO. So it would have, in theory, used the same filters light anti-gas respirator could have used. But yeah, the weird thing is the British Mickey Mouse masks are actually better quality than the adult civil masks. Because these obviously have replaceable filters on them, and it's got an exhale valve. and 2 separate eyepieces, which feel like they're made from a tougher material than the adult masks. Again, I don't want to hit that too hard, but yeah, it's a weird looking thing, isn't it, this mask? Hello? Right, let me put the original filter back on this. Safely put it back in the box. There we go, that's put back together. That's interesting, Bone Broth. I know after World War II, lots of people bought gas masks from like the companies that made the civilian masks, because lots of them were then sold off sort of cheaper, so you could buy them for whatever use, which is why you see lots of the masks recycled for sort of industrial use. All right, see you, Nazar, if you're off. Oh, what you mean, like the honeycomb lenses? No, you on them. There's one that says, is your live chat on and can you see my comments? I've seen those, but obviously live chat is on because you're commenting in it and other people are commenting in it. Yeah, I comment on his video, Slingshot Warrior. He's not said for definite he's leaving. He said depending on what happens with their new terms of service. All right, cheers, Falcon. Well, basically, with my much rarer masks like these, I store them in a dark cupboard. They sit in cardboard boxes in a dark cupboard, sealed away from everything. For masks like the GP5, I just don't give a shit. So that's why those ones are hanging up. But most masks I just keep in their satchels on shelves. All right, Danish bias. Yeah, while I think about it, let me just put this one back in a box. I know this was round one of them, but it doesn't really matter which one it was round because it fits on either. But there we go. But yeah, they're the rarest masks in my collection, British C7s, because, again, they're just hard to find, basically. But they're cool-looking masks. But, again, I didn't pay much for them. I think I paid less than £30 for each of them when I bought them. I've only watched Stranger Things Season 1, so no spoilers, but I might get around to watching the later seasons at some point. Yeah, but not on many GP5. You can put duct tape on or rubber glue on some masks. I just showed it, Roman. It's my British C7s. One's got the gold XL valve for some reason, the other's got the silver one. Well, I know that the Danish, you mostly used the blue GM38s after World War II, but did the colour signify if one was industrial, like use, and one was military? I don't know. Is it the good Spider-Man 2, Mike, the Sam Raimi one? Well, apparently PTM 1s are sort of rare. I don't know how rare they actually are, but they're one a lot of people don't seem to have. It's not really a gas mask, it's a Fallout Civil Defense mask, but like I said, I've been collecting masks for years, and it was only recently I even found out that PTM 1s existed. But again, they're not really gas masks. But I don't really have any rare, interesting prototype Soviet gas masks. But yeah, the PTM 1s are quite cheap. It's just most people don't even seem to know about them. Yeah, it's at least a good film. I don't think I do. Let me search the name of it into Google Laser, and then I can check and see, but I don't think so. Oh, I've seen those on eBay, but they're normally quite expensive. But I guess they were the last generation of PDF children's masks, weren't they? Because they look more modernised than the others. Because they kind of remind me a bit of GP7s. They look cool, but they wouldn't fit me or anything. If I see one for like £20-ish, I might buy one. But I'm certainly not spending £40 on the children's mask. It's not going to fit me. The PDFs I've got 3 PDFs. I've got that one there, if I'm pointing it, there we go, with the metal bottom bit. And then I've got 2 other PDFs that have the plastic bottom bit. That's actually a very good price, isn't it? Because that's, what, £12? That's, yeah, a very good price. Let me have another search for them then, laser. Because if I can spot one at the moment at a good price, I'll get one. But yeah, it's just whenever I've looked for those before, they've always been really expensive. But maybe somebody's listed some more at a more reasonable price. £19. One's £14 with £7 postage. Another one's £14 with £6 postage. Yeah, they all come up to about £20, so I'll just go for that £20 ones. And this one's in the UK. They've only got medium size in stock, which won't fit me, but I'll do a video on it because it's interesting, and obviously people donate like you, so big thanks to that. So that goes towards masks like that. So buy it now. Let me just buy it. Confirm and pay. Estimated delivery Monday the 29th of July. So it should come at the same time my PC comes. Thanks for that, laser. Yes, it's a bit more expensive than £12, but 20 isn't bad for that. As I said, most of the time I'd looked at those before when I'd looked into PDFs. They were like in the £30 to £40 region. I thought for a children's mask it doesn't really fit me. What's the point? But assuming I actually get the one in the picture, that should be quite interesting. I can evaluate how good the quality of it is compared to the older PDFs. Cool, I've got a liquidator medal, but obviously I don't know any stolen valor bullshit with it, but I think it's a nice thing as a tribute, sort of, to the people. So yeah, anybody that's donated on the stream or supported me on Patreon recently, thank you. Your donations have gone towards this Soviet children's mask that I can probably put on display in the background as well somewhere when it comes, because it's kind of related to the ones on the poster. Even though that poster is definitely before that one came out, because they've got the PDFD of the metal thing, like I've got the GP4 style one, the really small size one where the XL valve's at the side angle. Looks like the plastic one at the bottom there that I've also got somewhere, and then like a small size GP5. All right, Marcus, if that's you, Danish bias. Yeah, after a while you get more likes than viewers, because obviously the people currently watching come on and drop off throughout the stream. If everybody remembers to give it a like, then once you get through a few cycles of people on the stream, the likes can outnumber the viewers. Yeah, FP5s work fine on GP5s. I've not seen your comments, Pedro, so ask it again, please. What's the difference between DP1 and EO65K? Well, EO65K is the coffee can filter, isn't it? Let me search DP1. Is that a type of filter? Is DP1 the carbon monoxide filter? Yeah. So it's not a normal gas mask filter. Like the EO65K is the same as an EO16, basically. It's just a big, sort of a bit like the EO14 canisters. It's just a big conventional filter canister. The DP1 is one that I think uses a chemical reaction in it to lower the amounts of carbon monoxide that get through. So it's not really a conventional filter. It's a bit more like a rebreather scrubber unit. It's, you know, something that's designed to convert one thing into another. I think I had somebody buy something on Teespring again the other day, so thank you. I'll yell at Bart again when I see him tomorrow and tell him to hurry up and do some more merch. Oh, that was like a week ago, but yeah, thanks to whoever it was then. That might have been Shop Zombie trying to get a uranium mug. Because I know he was saying he wanted like a Fiesta Ware style mug, but they don't do those. Oh, that's cool. How much did that cost, if you don't mind me asking, Cohen? Because when I looked, a lot of the Soviet-style firefighter helmets were really expensive, which is why I ended up getting that German Stahlhelm type one. because I think Stow helmets are cooler helmets, and that was only like £20 to £30, where a lot of the Soviet ones were like 80 to 100 plus. If you spotted one for a really good price, then that's excellent. Or if you wanted to pay a lot, you know, that's your money. But personally, I thought mass-produced communist helmet just painted white. Yeah, cheers, Peach. Don't forget to like the stream. I suppose you can get one later on, can't you, NASA Turtle? It depends. The Hungarian whatever it's called, their copy of the PMG is absolutely fine. Hungarian helmets are fine as well. They're quite good quality. But yeah, some Hungarian civil masks are pretty trash, aren't they? But I think they look cool. Right, see you, Spec Scout. Have a nice evening. But yeah, Hungarian civil defense masks are pretty awful. You doing a fist bump? There we go. Oh, it's not even in frame, is it? No, you. See, the thing is, masks smelling weird don't bother me at all, because lots of types of rubber do have weird smells to them. Yep, if it's a modern Russian filter, Pedro, it will be 40mm GOST, not NATO, so it'll work fine on all your old Soviet masks. Well, I can't walk around in a public street with a sword on my leg, if that's what you're asking. But if you mean, could I somehow put a holster for a sword, like a scabbard somehow on my left leg and draw it? Yes, I could. But, what I could... I won't be able to do it easily in the video, the stream, but... See, my falchion would be my ideal choice for this. Let's just get him out. I'm knocking everything over. So this isn't the proper scabbard for a falchion, just because I didn't order a scabbard with the falchion. This is just a cold steel gladius sort of scabbard sheath. But in theory, like, yeah, you could, if I get in frame with it, you could obviously have it on your left leg like that and then draw it. But yeah, obviously I would not be doing that in the road. But as I said before, the falchion is the favourite of all my swords, but it's the one I spent the most on. So when I visit Weapon Collector in September, I'm definitely bringing it up so he can film hitting Zombot with it or whatever. Because I imagine this would make quite a mess out of Zombot. No, I don't have an SV500 Geiger count, but the Geiger counters I've got are the Polish DP66M. That's that rectangular one with the big probe on it, on that shelf. I've got a mini monitor, is that a Type 510 or something it's called, which has an alpha probe on it. That's the best of my Geiger counters because it's the most accurate one. Then that's a Polish radiation alarm behind me there. I think that just detects a certain amount of gamma radiation penetrating it, and then it sounds the alarm. And I've also got a SOX01M Geiger. The SOX01M is the most like modern and practical Geiger counter if you ever wanted to carry one around on you. But the mini monitor one over there is the most practical of all my Geigers. Well, not practical, sorry, the most comprehensive and like efficient. Is that one of the modern, like, titanium or massive Kevlar ones, Pedro? It will fit some masks, but I don't know, and I don't have one, so I can't test it. Isn't which one expensive, Danish, sorry? What, the SV500? Let me Google it, and I'll see which one it is. A lot of those are about £200. But the SV500 is pretty much the same thing as that one because it's got an alpha probe on it. So I spent 140 on that mini monitor, thanks to people donating. So just to show you it works. Mike, feel free to time out or block anybody spamming the chat. No, I'd let you do that anyway, but... There you go, see that mini monitor one works. I really like this Geiger counter because it has the speaker on it, so it does the, you know, Geiger counter sounds in real time. Oh, there goes my torch on there. There's the free light drop down to. Yeah. That was just the thorium. For fuck's sake, it dropped straight back down again. Stay on there. I wonder if the shelf's gone slightly tilted. I reckon it has. I reckon that shelf is slightly balanced. Anyway, that was just a thorium lamp mantle with a radium watch dial in it. I was testing on that Geiger. Yeah, where was I? Yeah. GP5Ms, saying I've got them there. It's basically just a GP5 with a voice diaphragm. So assuming the voice diaphragm isn't damaged on it, I mean, you could probably repair it quite easily with any kind of like plastic you want to put in there as a disc. Yeah, it's a comfortable enough mask. It's like a GP5 with ear holes. People can at least understand you with it on because it's got the voice diaphragm. So yeah, if you can get them cheap enough, they're not bad masks, to be honest, especially if you can get filters that fit them. Okay, how much is 800 Danish kroner compared to pounds? Let me so let's put 800 Danish kroner in. That's £96. That's a very good price, actually. As I say, the Geiger count like that was 145. So getting a Geiger count with an Alpha probe for under £100 is an excellent price. Yeah, go for it. Literally eBay, not a list. Go on eBay and type in whatever nation you want and like civil defense poster or propaganda poster, and you can buy originals and reprints like that one. And if you just want something smaller, just go on Google Images or something like Bing, so you can actually open the image in full size and just print them off, like the Phosgene posters and all those down there as well. Well, saying that, Bone, it depends, because I'd say the Polish masks are slightly better quality in themselves, but the Polish MUA compared to a GP5M has a much smaller voice diaphragm. So there's no real plus or minus to it, to be honest. Depends which one you prefer and what price you can get them at. But as GP5Ms are so plentiful, I don't really see why, you know, if you can get GP5M cheaply, why you wouldn't do it if you just wanted a alright mask. But yeah, as long as you can get the filters easily laser, it's not a problem, is it? It's just that's the reason I don't tell a lot of people to go for Soviet masks for like prepping or whatever reasons, is because they can get NATO masks for not that much, and they can get NATO filters easily. Where if you're more of an enthusiast and you don't mind looking around a bit more for GOST filters, it's not a problem. But I wouldn't recommend, you know, the only mask somebody has for protection is a GOST one, because then you're going to have a hard time finding enough filters. How do you mean by that, shell powder? Beta and gamma penetrate the skin. Gamma penetrates pretty much anything. Beta penetrates like the top layer of skin. Alpha is inhaled or ingested, but beta and gamma basically, if you're exposed to them, just, you know, standing around in an area there, they'll get you. If that's what you're asking anyway. It depends. You might have to sometimes put extra O-rings in bone broth. Because even with a GP5, I can sometimes get NATO filters to fit it, but I have to put additional O-rings in the mask, so the filters make an airtight seal. Yeah, that's an old Soviet civil defence poster. It cost £30 odd. It came from Eastern Europe. I think it's like a high quality reprint. But yeah, it's like an actual just scan and a reprint of the Soviet ones. So it's showing you obviously like GP5s, GP5M, how to measure your head and the sizes for it, how to look after the mask, how to fit it and check it's airtight. Other masks like the Y2K kind of ones, PY60s, the dust masks like the PTM one in the middle, and all the children's masks on that side. What, so the radioactive materials don't set on fire, I would assume? That's quite cool. Not loads of stuff, Nazar. I suppose compasses of radium paint would give off radiation, yeah, like old watch dials do. Avon CT12 tank maker. Yeah, radium paint, GB5. Like old watch dials. I think some people call it iridium, don't they? But yeah, radium. Well, it depends what the source of it is, shell powder. If you had something like Chernobyl very quickly, because you've got a reactor that's essentially blown up and everything's spewing out from it. If it's like a much less serious source of radiation leak, it'd be much slower. Again, with a lot of this stuff, it depends where it's coming from and the isotopes. And because I'm not a physicist, I definitely can't explain to you how certain isotopes and things like that spread faster than others, because I don't understand all that stuff. One of my friends is quite into physics, so he's a lot more into the nerdy side of radiation than me. I'm a lot more into how will radiation fuck you up kind of thing, and how to protect yourself from radiation. But, that must have been a very fast click then, Mad Goblin. But yeah, obviously certain types of radiation will spread faster and differently than others, but I'm not a physicist, so I can't really explain all that. Yeah, well, that's the thing, Danish Bias. I'd like to be a channel that actually interacts with people, because what's the point in having a channel where you never answer comments or anything like that? So, favourite gas mask question? Maybe, like, what do you prefer out of two different masks and the reason why? Because that way I can actually go into the reasons why I like certain masks more than others and the pros and cons. So it's actually interesting for me to answer. Obviously, when it's just, why is this your favourite gas mask? When it's always a CT12. Why it's just comfortable for me and I like it. So I guess it's your country, your poster chewed by dog or something. Or your dog chews you, no? Right, with some particle filters, I think you get like PR and PD and things like that, which are meant to be like the concentrations of oils that can be in the air or something on the particulates filter. But I don't actually know what that would mean on that one. Let me get my ABEC picture up and I'll see if D is on that one. D. There's no D on this one. So I'd assume it's something to do with the particulate style thing. Because some particle filters work better against oily substances and whatever. But that's really complicated and I don't quite understand it. But I don't think most people would have an actual reason for needing that outside of certain industries. The elephant's foot has been solid for quite a long time. I mean, have they found that the elephant's foot is still mounting through the ground? Because I've seen some tabloid propaganda stuff about that. But I've never seen a proper science article talking about the elephant's foot still mounting through the ground. If you do a donation, as yes. No, I've never seen a Canadian C4 for sale in the UK that's not been like £300 odd. So when I see one for a good price, I'll get one. If I don't see one for a good price, I won't get one. You can't post images in here, GP5. It won't let you do it. It won't let you post links either, and that's not me saying you can't do it. It's YouTube not letting you do it. Because in live streams, people can't post links or anything like that. Yeah, I'm English, Danish bias. What you could do, if you use a site like Imager or any of those, put a picture of it on Imager, and then in a regular YouTube comment, say, this is that radioactive container, then post a link. It'll probably get held in my spam folder, and then when I see it, I can approve it. That's the only way you can really do it, to be honest. Yeah, £35 for an S10 is a pretty good price. Because they're going up a bit now, because they're getting harder to find. So yeah, 35 for an S10 is good. Cheers, Joseph. Yeah, well, Denmark's a bit more to the east, isn't it? East and maybe a bit north, but yeah. I've not actually been to Denmark, sadly. I've been to Norway and Finland. As in, like, the Scandinavian and Nordic countries, but I've never been to Denmark. So you're from the land of Lego and Vikings. Oh, I could be thinking about that one forever, Mad Goblin, but in general, I've had people make statements like, no, you don't need a filter on a gas mask for it to work, and things like that. You know, where there was, one of the comments I had a while ago where I was like, oh, wow, this person is quite special. He said something like, you're lying about cheek filters. You can change the cheek filters on the outside of the mask, and they're quite easy to change as well. No. Just no. Is it, what do they say and all that? Is it skull or something like that? That's what I've always seen on, like, Nordic things where they're drinking and do a toast, but I don't know if that's right. And this is only orange squash in here, not alcohol this morning. I'm not drinking again today after yesterday. USA, definitely not CCCP. I don't have a problem with modern Russia, but I don't like the Soviet Union. Well, with some cheek filter masks, sometimes the filter itself has a screw bit in it where you can screw the outsert valve onto it, which holds it into the pouch. But yeah, you can't easily take a filter out, can you, and replace it in a cheek filter mask, especially not from the outside. But I had some guy going like, no, you can just literally take a filter and go like that and swap it. Yeah, I mean, same with like the Avon M50 and to an extent Scott GSR, but the GSR filters are a bit too heavy. But yeah, essentially, Laser, I would agree with that, you know, if you want to do a cheek filter, just do a like lightweight connecting filter. But the nice thing with 3M style filters, if I show you the Chinese one I've got here, I have to tidy up a load of masks after this video, that's right. Like one like this is, see how lightweight these filters are? This is how you want to do a cheek filter, isn't it, basically? See, because this is a really lightweight cheek filter thing. So yeah, if you have them like this, or the little plastic ones, yeah, because this is literally no weight on the thing. And obviously they're easy enough to replace, because you just literally do that. And then it's probably going to be harder for me to get this back on with the mask on. But... oh, there we go. See, so yeah, much better design than the American cheek filters. Yeah, they're still going to be lightweight, aren't they? And they don't really block your field of view too much or anything like that. So, yeah, I think you're totally right there. If you were to do a cheek filter mask, it should just work like the 3M style ones. Not, you know, the idea of stuffing a massive filter inside the cheek. Because, I mean, imagine if you had to fit something like this that was bulkier inside that way. That would be how that works. But yeah, if they did cheek filter masks like this in the 1950s, when they 1960s or whatever, as the M17, that would have been a cool idea. You know, like filters that you maybe put on at an angle and then they were the shape of the cheek, that would be a really cool idea. But they didn't do that, did they? So, also, anybody that's wondering, these sort of little half-face Chinese 3M copies are very good because you can put the real 3M filters on them. So I've got the 3M P3 filters on there, which obviously are very good if you're ever working with any kind of extreme dusts. And these are very lightweight. Take the filters out first, GP5, but yes, you can wash the entire PBF in the sink without the filters in to get the talc off. It's strange because the US actually, Avon in America produces FM12s for the American market because lots of US police forces buy the FM12. So I don't know why they're so expensive, but that's strange. Yeah, the mouthpiece and all that you can put in the sink. Most of the bits in there are plastic, so they're not going to rust. And the metal on those masks are designed to be resilient to chemicals, so water's not going to rust them easily. Right, see you, Danish. I'm going to be off any minute now anyway, because I've been on the stream for an hour. All right, cool. I'll check that out when the stream ends, GP5, in a minute when I've tidied everything up and, you know, get back to checking the chat and all that. But cool, I'll have a look. Hopefully it will let me allow a comment. Ben, that was just from eBay. Type in Soviet civil defense posters and you can find a lot like that. But yeah, like I was saying, anybody that wants the things, masks like this one and this one are actually pretty good. Because again, they're built in a very similar way. It's just that this one has a filter on the middle. These one have the two lightweight filters on the side, but both, you know, have the same kind of strap assemblies and work quite well. Isn't the River Avon near Bristol, if you're on about Avon? If it's the industrial BKF filter, I don't think it does. It's just literally charcoal, isn't it? That sounds typical, Richard, doesn't it? Somebody who's like, oh, I've not done any research into anything, so it's impossible for people to draw high draw weight rows, and you can't buy them in the first place. You do get some very weird people on the internet, don't you? Think they're smart and they're not. Answer you what, Nazar? I keep saying, can you answer my question, but I've not seen a question. With the FM12, you don't need to buy official Avon filters. Any RD40 filters will work. Type in onto eBay RD40 filter or ABEC filter, anything like that. Any 40mm filter with a long date on will be fine. I don't know if there's a maximum, but I think the minimum's probably like £1 or just under, but you can donate whatever you want if you want to donate. All right, cheers, Laser. Oh, that's interesting. So what's the Scott Pro mask with the bayonet type filter ones? Is that like the Scott M98 kind of Pro mask? It's just got a different filter connection. So more like a 3M style filter, but on the full face mask. That's interesting. From what I've heard, the Mag series, I've got a PPM88 and the voice diaphragm's broken on it. But from what I understand, the Mag series are newer, aren't they? And they're better. But also, apparently there's different companies in Russia that produce masks, and apparently some PPM88s or GP9s are better than others, depending on which company makes them. And Hype was saying the Russian brand of PPM88 I've got is the shit one, you know, unfortunately, and I didn't even know that when I was ordering it. But if you get the choice, you know, some Russian companies make much better masks than other Russian companies. A bit like how MSA is better than Scott in the US, you know, and 3M's better than Scott in the US for buying US masks. It's that kind of thing, where if you get several companies making the same mask, some of them have much better quality control than others. Oh, yeah, well, the US M45, if that's $70, go for it, because that's like, what, £50? That's a brilliant price for an M45. They're pretty rare. Yeah, if it's usually $500, don't think about it, go for it. Yeah, cool. Put on Discord, mate, and I'll have a look in a bit. I'll be off in a minute anyway. I keep saying that, but I need to start tidying up all this stuff because Again, I've got loads of stuff out for this stream, and it needs to all go away. The C7s I have to put away in the other place anyway, where they're going to be protected from the light and everything. So let me just start piling this away. This one will sit down there, actually. That frees up a bit of space. Good, that's that there. Let's pop this one away. Trying to get the strap back in there. That's that one tidied up. These ones go away in the wardrobe down the other end of the house. That one sits in there. There's a shelf there. Right, yeah, so I'll head off. Thanks, everybody, and thank you, everybody that donated. I do appreciate it, because obviously I bought that new gas mask today. The old Soviet, like the last generation Soviet PDF, whatever it is. So as soon as that comes, I'll do a video on it. Lots of World War I gas masks. I don't know if they even have particle filters in them, Nautilus. A lot of them were just wood charcoal or coconut charcoal. I still wouldn't recommend breathing through them, because everything in the filter is going to be dust by this point, and obviously a lot of World War I masks may have actually been exposed to poison gas. But I don't think they actually used asbestos in a lot of World War I masks, just simply because they didn't really have very good particle filters in. Right, cheers, Laser, I appreciate it, and I appreciate everybody else that's donated. Thank you. Remember, if you donate at any point, either on here or Patreon, ask me for a Discord invite, and I can put you on the server anyway. I'll catch up with any comments people have left on other things in a bit. I need to tidy all this stuff up first. But thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. And I'll be streaming again Sunday evening, UK time, probably about 8 or 9 p.m. If you want to donate Bone Broth, you can either do... There should be a Patreon link below the video, I imagine. You can either click on the Patreon link and donate whatever you want. You can either cancel it after 1 month if you only want to do one payment rather than the reoccurring payment. Or you can use YouTube Super Chat in the streams, and that way I get 70% of whatever you donate that way. I don't mind however you want to do it, because some people prefer Super Chat, some people prefer Patreon, but whatever, it all goes towards the stuff I buy on these videos. And if you didn't hear me say earlier, the new PC is due to be delivered at the very end of the month. So when that comes, I'll definitely do a video on the new PC, and it means I can edit and render longer videos, and they should all work a lot better. Right, anyway, see you all later. Thanks for joining in. It's been a really fun stream, so thanks, everybody, and see you Sunday for a live stream. Otherwise, I'll just see you in the comments on regular videos. All right, see you all. Goodbye.